This is breaking news.
Of shooting, obviously your heart starts to race. We're trying to find out, get all the details. I immediately contacted the county executive and advised him what was happening. He, of course, had concerns for the family of the individual that was shot and killed, but he also had concerns for our police officers. And he wanted those cops to know that he had their back and he 100% supports them. Last night, our officers responded to this domestic. He was intoxicated and he was carrying what appeared to be a shotgun. That picture that you've all seen up on the TV screen. At nighttime, in the dark, very irate individual. Well, first officer is speaking to the mother at the door and turns, looks to his right, and that individual picks that gun up and points it at our officer. He immediately pushes the mother into the house, putting his life in danger to save that woman. The third officer that got there to the scene also ordered numerous times, put the gun down, put the gun down. And the individual kept walking towards the officer. As he was waving that gun at the officer, after numerous commands to put the gun down, our officer shot. That individual was struck once, and he died later at Winthrop Hospital. A well-trained, well-professional, well-controlled officer did what he had to do to stop that threat. Later, and only later, did we learn that that was a BB gun. But you look at it and you tell me if you could see anything different in what that gun is. And that was what was pointed at our officers, and that was the threat, and that was the threat that they stopped, and at the time, saving that the mom's life by pushing her in the door. I'm now going to have Detective Captain Fitz talk to you about the details.
Thank you, Commissioner. As Commissioner Ryder stated, last night at about 20 after midnight, 9/11 received a call from the mom at 339 Rushmore Avenue, Carle Place. She indicated that her son was out of control, highly intoxicated, and refused to leave. She called 911 for this. When officers responded, as the Commissioner said, the first officer met the mother at the front door. As he was interviewing her about what had transpired, his attention was drawn to the right. And as he turned to the right, the subject was pointing what appeared to be the shotgun directly at him. He feared for his life and for the life of the mother, pushed her inside the house, and closed the door behind him. Simultaneously, two other officers were pulling up at that moment. The second officer immediately took a position back on the front steps, ordering the individual to drop the weapon. He continually refused. He kept waving it at the officers and not complying with their commands. The third officer, as the Commissioner said, came into the next-door neighbor driveway, took a position behind a car at that location, and was within 6 to 7 feet of the individual who was approaching him waving this weapon. He refused to comply, to drop the weapon, and to the point, after seeing him numerous times waving the weapon at the officers, he became in fear for his safety and became reasonable and necessary for that officer to discharge his weapon one time, striking him in the chest. He was taken immediately to Winthrop Hospital, and he was pronounced at 1:14 in the morning. We looked into his background. He has a numerous history of assaults. In fact, he was just arrested on September 1st for assaulting his girlfriend. 5 days prior to that, he assaulted her within the boundaries of New York City. Before that, he's been arrested for numerous times. He has multiple felonies for burglary, arson with criminal mischief, assaults, DWIs. The mother has told us that he has an extensive history of intoxication, alcohol abuse, and controlled substances. Last night, she stated that he was highly irrational, out of control. That's what forced her to call 911. She believed he was on controlled substances and was drinking heavily. When the mother called 911, the individual reacted by saying, "Kiss me, I'm going to go outside and die by the police," which subsequently happened. He went downstairs in the basement, came out the back entrance of the house, came in between the two houses, which was dark and dimly lit. This weapon was being waved towards the officers. They used extreme restraint until the ultimate time where the weapon was discharged and taken his life. His history is possible. We have numerous calls dating back to 2022 and 2010 for depression, for overdoses, intoxication. So this individual had an extensive history of substance abuse and irrational behavior. It's unfortunate this ended in this manner, but I think the officers needed to be praised for saving the mother and for holding off until the ultimate moment where they had to take action. If anybody has any questions, I'll take them.
How old is this man?
He was 33. His name is James Rosano, R-O-S-A-N-O. He was 33, born August 19th, 1992, and he resided there with the mom and dad.
How many prior domestic calls have you had to that address?
We're still researching that. It's early in the investigation, but we have maybe half a dozen.
You said he told his mom, I want to die. What did he exactly tell his mom?
When he realized mom called 911, he got very highly agitated. He started taking his shirt off, taking his pockets, emptying his pockets out on the table, and saying, "Kiss me and say goodbye. I'm going outside, and the police are going to take my life."
Did mom know that he had a weapon or that it wasn't?
She was unaware that he had this particular weapon. She thought he had knives downstairs, which she told the first officer who arrived at the scene.
Is there body cam footage of the incident, and would you release?
There's body cam of all three individuals, officers that responded there, that support what we have just told you. Those body cams are being turned over to the New York State Attorney General for review, and they'll be at some time released by them.
How, in this situation, like you said, it's such a fluid situation, how are the officers doing?
Whenever you take a life, I'm sure the officers are very upset. They're being treated by our peer support and our wellness teams. They were taken to a hospital and evaluated, and they're doing as best that they can do at this time.
Okay, we good here?
Do you know what sparked the argument between the mother and the son? Was it
Just his irrational behavior, screaming uncontrollably, and they realized that he was out of control again.
Is she in the habit of calling 911 on her son?
Only when he becomes to this level of intoxication or irrational behavior, she'd call and report that he's acting violent in nature.
you said a half a dozen times, has it been more frequently recently?
Don't quote me on that, but I mean, we're just researching a lot of it now and seeing what was between him and the mother and to that address.
Okay, we're done.
Your dad was there too.
Yes.
Okay. The investigation is going to continue, and we'll keep you posted as it progresses. Thank you.